So welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. So I'm Kevin, this is my wife Jane, and we're going to start a video documentary of quite a long trip we have just started, heading down from Alaska all the way down to the tip of South America, Ushuaia.
So we're going to be doing this trip overland. We don't have our own vehicle, and in the USA we'll be reliant on car hire because public transport isn't great, and there might be some boats involved at some points in the trip.
So we've just flown in from Dublin. It was a long flight via Seattle, so here's just a few pictures of that flight. One of the good things about Dublin Airport, it's one of the few airports around the world where you can actually check into the United States before you fly rather than on arrival. So when you arrive, you can get through customs and such like very quickly as though you were a domestic arrival. That's really convenient. Downside is we have to be at the airport, I think it's 4.5 hours before our flight goes off, so got a bit of waiting to do. Just now reaching Canada, roughly down there, extreme northeast. I think after Greenland a little bit earlier. Still day, well, actually night over Europe by now. Some beautiful clouds out on the horizon. First sight of Canada through the clouds. West of Saskatoon, heading roughly towards Vancouver.
So we're primarily going to stay throughout the trip in Airbnbs, and because Kevin and I both love dogs, we've decided to prioritise Airbnbs with dogs. So where we lived in London, we looked after our friends Alaskan Malamute, who incidentally, Alaskan Malamutes are the national dog of Alaska. And here's some footage of Damon.
Damon! Damon.
And here's some footage from our first Airbnb of Shadow, the German Shepherd, playing.
Sit down. Sit. 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 Come on, let's do some tricks. Sit down. Sit. Good boy. And you know shake. And you know high five. High five, Shadow. High five. Give me some skin, brother. Yeah, good boy.
So in the Western USA, we really had to hire a car. There's no viable alternative with public transport, and the same is true here in Alaska. So after looking at a variety of car companies, the best option for us was a company called Turo, which doesn't have much of a presence in the UK, but it's quite big here in the United States. It's effectively Airbnb for cars, so you just hire a car off other individuals. So we've just got a car here in Alaska for 6 days. It cost, including insurance, just under £400 for 6 days. Insurance is actually very expensive in the US because you have not only your collision damage waiver, but also your liability insurance. And obviously with medical bills in the US, those can be enormous. So the cost of insurance is a bit higher than we'd have in Europe. It's actually quite a lot higher when you have in Europe. Hence that's why it's about £65 a day for a short trip. It's a little bit less for longer trips. So here is the car we have. This is our first hire car with many. We're just using this hire car for about 5 or 6 days. Drive up north into the interior of Fairbanks and then back down and see Denali on the way back, and then after that we'll also go down and just see Whittier and the Portage Glacier. That'll be in about 5 days time from now. So this car is having fun with this because it's automatic and far more used to a manual drive. And I also just embarrassed myself picking up the car when I asked the guy what the key button that was labelled hold did. Not surprisingly, it opens the hold, but being used to calling it the boot in Britain or something like that, it was a bit of a mystery. So now we're going to spend about 6 or 7 hours on the road today, driving, as I say, up to Fairbanks via the Richardson Highway. Just a little pull-in at the side of the road as we drive north up from Anchorage towards Fairbanks, going to take the Richardson Highway. So this is just a little lay-by we've pulled into, probably about an hour or so out of Anchorage. It's not that far. It's very pretty. Road's pretty empty, just single lane carriageway most of the way. It's on the Dalton Highway. We'll pull off it soon. And, here's our little hire car again. We're going to spend probably got up to 1,500 miles in this. I think we'll probably do about 1,200 over the next 5 days or so. This was where we just had lunch, just a little pull-in stop at the side of the road. I did think this was a really nice place until I came here to film and found this. I don't know who killed what, why they dumped them here. It's all pretty.
So we've just been along the Richardson Highway, and in the next episode we're going to visit North Pole and Fairbanks. So the Richardson Highway I thought was truly stunning, and it was amazing how not busy it was, completely different from what we're used to driving in London and the UK, where there is a lot of congestion. So just mile after mile of beautiful scenery, high quality roads with yeah, pretty much absolutely no traffic.
And that's how it was for all 414 miles of it. And we hope you'll stay around for episode 2, which will show what we actually did in North Pole and Fairbanks, including a visit to Santa Claus's house, bizarrely in September.